remaining topic of our last unit. Okay, so that is the shortest path algorithm, which is known as the Dijkstra's algorithm. Okay, so this algorithm is used to find out the shortest path from the given vertex towards the remaining vertex. Okay, so example is shown. One simple example is shown. Suppose we have to go somewhere from your home. You can have a many paths. Okay, so from this particular node to the node B to E, F, or D, whatever is the node. So we have to find out. So there, for each of the node, we can have a many paths. Okay, so out of those, we have to find out the shortest path. Okay, which shortest path where we can reach in the minimum time. Fine. So this is the logic behind these kind of the algorithms to find the minimum path towards the remaining vertices. And one of the algorithm that we are going to use, that is the Dijkstra's, DijkstrA. Okay. So what is that algorithm for and how it is applied to the graphs that we are going to study. Okay. So what is the graph we have seen? Basically, graph, it is the collection of the vertices and the edges. But the screen is visible. But the
Yes,
screen
ma'am.
is visible. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. So for any of the graph, uh, how to find out the shortest path means, if any graph is given, then our objective can be, suppose we have a zero node. Okay, we have a zeroth vertex. So from this zeroth vertex, what is the minimum distance to node 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever is the number? Okay, so right now for this, there is no in number is shown, just the weights are shown for this particular graph. Okay, so our objective is to find out the minimum path from from this vertex to the all the other vertices. Okay, so if you take this particular vertex, you can have a different paths, like you can go by this way, right? You can go by this way, again you can go by this way. So you can have a multiple ways to that destination vertex from the source vertex. So out of these, we our interest is to choose the shortest path. Okay, to choose the shortest path. And so for that, what logic must be applied, so that whatever the path we will select, that will be the shortest route towards that particular vertex. Okay, in the previous lectures, we have seen the graph traversals using BFS and the DFS, as well as we have seen two algorithms to find out the minimum spanning tree. Okay, which is going to interconnect all the vertices with a minimum number of edges. Okay, so there one Prince and the Kruskal's algorithm we have seen. The Kruskal's works with the edges and Prince works with the vertices. Okay, so we just list out the edges in the ascending order in the Kruskal's algorithm, and we just select only those edges which are forming the minimum spanning tree. And in case of the Prim's algorithm, we start from a one vertex, and we forward towards the other vertices by selecting the minimum distance between those vertices. Okay, so that same kind of a logic is applied here in finding out the shortest path to all the other vertices. Okay, so in this case, how do we do that, or what are the steps that we have to follow? Okay, first we will see this, then we will take one more example, and I will show you how to draw that particular table of the weights. Okay, so for this, now whatever the graph shown, is it a weighted graph or unweighted graph? This is the graph, right? So what is the type of this graph shown?
Weighted.
Weighted, because weights are shown on your edges, right? Is it directed or undirected graph?
Un. And then
Undirected. Why?
no arrows.
No arrows are there. So undirected means bidirectional, right? Okay, so there are means simultaneously both the ways are possible during the traversal. Okay, now first what we have to do for this given weighted graph, we have to choose a starting vertex. Okay, we have to choose a starting vertex and we have to assign the infinity path values to all the other vertices. Means what? Suppose this is the first node we have chosen. Okay, this is the first node we have chosen. Now what is the first thing you can do? You can assign infinity path values to all the other vertices. Now you can check here, there is an infinity shown inside each of the vertices. What is the infinity? Means we are telling that that is the path value. Okay, that is the path value of that respective vertex from the starting vertex 0. Okay, starting vertex 0. So once we have initialized all the path values to the infinity, okay, what next you have to start? You have to start with the adjacent one. Okay, you have to start with the adjacent one. So you can check here in this particular graph. It, is it visible?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Okay, fine. Means that some of the part is not there visible in the presentation. Okay, now it is fine. So for this third diagram, you can check. Fine. So we are starting with the zeroth, no, zeroth vertex. Okay, we have initialized all the path values to the infinity. Now next what we have to do, we have to go to each of the adjacent element. Okay, adjacent vertex. Okay, so the first vertex we have chosen is the 0. Fine, and now we have to update the path values. Now update the path values. Now which path values will get updated? For those vertex which are adjacent, right? Because for all the other vertices initially they will be infinite only. Okay, once we move forward those will be automatically get updated. We have to update it all. So from this 0th node, you can check here in this original picture, from this particular node your distance, this distance is 4 and this distance is also 4. Okay, so for this node your path length is updated to 4 and for this one also your path length is updated to 4, right? Why? Because their distances from this 0th node is we have updated as a 4. Fine. Next, what is there? If the path length of the adjacent vertex is lesser than the new path length, then don't update it. Means, if in the next iteration, suppose we are finding that the distance of that particular node is somewhat greater than its previous, then we don't have to update that particular distance or particular weight. And this we have also done in case of the Prim's algorithm. Okay, if your new or updated path length, updated weight is more than the previous, then we just don't update it. If it is less than the previous, then only you will update it. Okay, so right now for this you can also check, this node is 4, distance is 4, but for this particular node there can be the distance from here through this node also. So 4 plus 2. Okay, so if you take 4 plus 2, it is a 6, and which is a greater than 4. So we will not update the means we will keep the path length as a 4 only. Fine. See, first we are starting from 0th vertex. Okay, we have updated the weights of its adjacent. Okay, weights of its adjacent. So we have updated this 4 and this 4. Fine. So out of these you can traverse to the next node any, because both of the nodes are having a value 4. So you are taking this one. So whatever the node you are seeing in the black color, okay, black color means we have fixed its weight or fixed its path. So 0, from 0 the distance of this node is 4. Okay, distance of this node is 4. Now we came here. Now what we have to do, we have, for this particular node we can also find out the distance from through this node too, right? So this is 4 and this one is 2. So 4 plus 2 total is 6. So but the distance of this node from 0th node is 4. So we will choose this path instead of this second path, right? So we have to choose the length which is the smallest amongst the any two of the roots. Okay, so for this particular node, we will not update its weight to 6. Instead of that, we will keep it as a 4 only. Okay, so let's see only this black. Okay, concentrate on the black portion only. You can check here what is the path length of all. For this particular node, path length is 0. For this particular node, path length is 4. For this particular node, path length means it is the shortest path. Shortest path. So both of these node, it is a 4 4, and that is from the 0th node. Okay, that is from the 0th node. So avoid updating the path lengths of already visited vertices. So all black are the already visited vertices, so there is no any need to update their paths. Okay, next, after each iteration, we pick the unvisited vertex with the least path length. So we choose 5 before 7. We choose 5 before 7. So let's see, till this point, we have visited 3 vertices. For those 3 vertices, we have found out the minimum path length or the shortest path. And for the first, which is starting vertex, its path length is 0. And remaining 2, its path length is 4. So now we can see that our next node will be this 4. Okay, and it is having a 3 adjacents. Which are those 3 adjacent? This particular 4, look in the 6th number. Okay, here for this particular 4th node, you are having a 3 adjacent. One is a 7 with a weight of 3, next is a 8 with a weight of 6, and next one is a 5 with weight of 1. Okay, so out of these 3 weights, which is again minimum? 1 is a minimum, so we will choose a 5 instead of 7. Okay, 7 or the 8. So because 1, 3 and 6, out of this we will always choose a vertex which is close. So we will take this path length as a 5. Now, can anyone tell me how this path length has become equal to 5? Yes?
4 plus 1, 5.
Yes, right. Because this 4 indicates its own path length from starting vertex is 4. Okay. And there is a one more cost. Cost of 1 is added from this 4th node. So it is a 4 plus 1, 5. So for this vertex, its path length will be 5. Okay. Path length will be 5, which is a 4 plus 1. Okay. Now notice how the rightmost vertex has its path length updated twice. Now let's see how. Now this one, next node. Okay, adjacent of this 4th is 5. So we have chosen updated it as a 5. Now for this next node 7. Okay, for this node, what is its distance? 4 plus 3, right? 4 plus 3, that is 7. Okay, 4 plus 3, that is 7. If you go by another way, it will never be less than 7, right? It will never be less than 7. So we have visited this 7th node also. That is not a number 7, that is the path length 7. Okay, path length 7. So all the vertices means we have shown their path lengths. Now only the rightmost is remaining. Okay, rightmost is remaining. Now for this 8, okay, for this 8 means for this vertex, just don't consider this value 8 as. Okay, here it is 7. Okay, 7 plus 2, this vertex will be at a 9. Okay, and if you go by this way, it is a 5. Sorry, it is 5 and then 3, 8 is there. So which you will choose, 8 or 9? We will always choose 8, right? 8. So 8 is from that 5th node, right? 8 is from that 5th node. But if you go from the 7th node, then your distance will be 9. So we have to choose always the shortest path. So that it will be the 8. So whatever is the final diagram you are seeing, what it is showing? It is showing all the vertices It is showing all the vertices with its minimum length from this first vertex. Okay, got this concept of finding what is the significance of this 8? 8 indicates the shortest path available for this particular vertex from the 0th vertex is 8. Okay, it is 8, and that will be from how this 8 came. 0 to
0,
4,
4, 5,
0 to 4, 4 to 5, and 5 to
8,
8. So
8.
this total length is length comes 8. Okay, so in this way, for any of the graph, they can ask you to find out the shortest path. Okay, find out the shortest path from the given node towards all the remaining node. Okay, so you have to go with this particular